Hey, bro.
Hi, THQ. Haven't seen you in a while.
God, this logo's like from, what, 2003?
It is so chrome.
I see a G, an S, and a C in there, kinda.
That's like basic Photoshop stuff. Wow! That Asus logo, holy crap!
Welcome everyone to Let's Play Stalker Shadow of Chernobyl. This is a pretty cool sci-fi and horror-ish FPS, adapted from the classic Ukrainian sci-fi novel Roadside Picnic, and its film adaptation by Tarkovsky, Stalker. The original story was sort of creepily prescient of the Chernobyl nuclear disaster, and so the developers of the game here, GSC, they took that and brought it full circle. Unlike in the book where aliens came down to Earth and just sort of left their shit behind, in the backstory of the game, a second explosion occurred at Chernobyl, and now the exclusion zone has gone nuts with mutants, weird unexplainable phenomena, and a bunch of people, including you, the player, heading straight in the middle of it looking for fortune.
I don't know. I think this could be considered a 30-hour roadside picnic.
30 hours, sweet goingus. Oh. Oh. I thought he was just taking a nap.
Don't take the night bus, pal, it's murder.
Well, technically he's taking a nap. The longest one ever.
He's taking a very fried up nap. Oh, even more fried now.
That dude is turbo dead, holy shit! Not only is he dead by radiation poisoning, he got struck by lightning.
It had that same explosion sound effect that you hear in Peace Walker, where it sounds like a voice is going, whop.
I never noticed that.
I don't remember that.
That kid's got a good gun.
Is that a kid? He somehow simultaneously looks 25 and 11.
Yeah.
And 40.
All three.
Well, they're all dead. Let's loot the bodies.
I'm gonna kiss him. Oh, he's alive.
To be alive.
Good thing I didn't kiss him.
Guy. At least death would have saved him from the dreams.
Oh, I thought he looked at the camera.
Let's go and see what value Sidorov is.
Okay, time to finish him off.
Let's get a good frontal view of this dude.
Oh my goodness.
I forgot he eats fried chicken. Ew.
Ugh.
A body. It came from the death truck. It's got...
Everyone in this game looks so
Well, you know the
babyish,
drill. Leave him
weirdly.
on
This is a live one.
Bullshit. You're alive.
Let the zone take me if I am.
And then
Put
lightning
it
hits
here.
this poor child.
He also looks like a baby. Oh. Kill this stork, they're not
For
real.
this one, I can give you.
Hey man, that's personal. You don't get to see my shit.
I pledge allegiance to my PDA.
Sturlock is my social security number.
So, marked one, I saved you, and I'm not going to pretend I did it to win favors.
Oh god, what is
upstairs.
this HUD?
You do some
He looks completely differently.
me, and we're even.
Thorn, is this unmodded?
Besides, keeping you busy
Yes,
might
it
be a
is.
way to deal
Well,
with
I did
your
include a
needs.
mod to fix, like, basic
I'll
bugs.
see what I can find out about it.
Oh no.
I don't give a shit why you want to find
God,
it,
this looks
but
completely
I
different from what I do. I always play complete.
If you want
People
to
call
kill
complete
him,
shit, but I always play
well,
because it's
you must
simple.
have your reasons.
It looks better.
What are you standing
There is a lot of what the
Come
fuck is this and what the fuck is that about this
The
HUD.
choice is yours. Either I
Yeah, and
blame
everything will be
you
explained in due
like I
time.
do with all the rookies, or I treat you like a real stalker and I give you a mission straight away.
That's basically, give me tutorial or not, I already know it, so we're skipping tutorial.
I want you to find a stalker called Nimble. He was carrying some
So,
very important
while
information.
Sidorov is explaining things here, let's talk about experience. I've played each and every Stalker game like 3 times.
I need the flash drive.
I heard of it once in an Ashens video
Visit
from
Warren,
2008.
the local camp, and ask him.
I've played through the game once, I've played it multiple times, and the playthrough was right before I started Actually, the playthrough was, I think, for this LP, so
Good.
you're seeing me actually accomplish things this time.
Excellent. Look at that armor you're never gonna afford, you broke ass.
What is this shit?
Was this game, like, really graphically intensive for the time? What year did this come out?
Good
08, I
hunting,
think.
Stalker.
Oh,
07.
That sounds about right, yeah.
It still looks pretty good, but you can tell it's an older game.
The models don't look so good. They look Bethesda-tastic.
Yeah?
Yeah. So our only equipment at the start is a pair of binoculars. And a crouch button.
And a dance. He's tired. Get me a pillow.
Mishka Tourist.
Yeah. Every NPC who isn't, like, a story-specific character has a name and then, like, an adjective as their surname. An adjective or a random noun.
Come over here, we need to talk.
Oh, so kind of like Metal Gear Solid 5?
Sorta. Picked up an energy drink.
Ah, the most useful item.
After a point, yeah. Don't really need it right now. I don't have any weapons yet, I need to talk to this dude. Then he'll give me my stuff. Even though you can skip the tutorial, the game still gives you basic control information when you start. You can also remap the controls. I've changed a few things to make it play more like modern keyboard and mouse FPSs.
One of the things I like about, well, Shadow of Chernobyl specifically is that the localization's very weird in that there's half English voice acting and half, I always forget what it is. I just call it Russian because I have no culture, but like...
Ukrainian.
Hearing the Ukrainian gives it a lot more atmospheric feeling.
Mm-hmm.
It also makes you feel really terrified because you never know what the fuck these people are yelling at you half the time.
Guys, I'm sending someone your way, so wing it. You may attack if necessary. Over.
All right, Wolf, send him in. As long as he stays out of the way. Out.
I'm sure this is just background music, but I imagine there's someone just off screen just playing guitar.
You're not wrong.
He is.
Oh, nice. I'm not an idiot.
At camp, sometimes a dude will just whip out an acoustic.
Where's the boogie button?
Oh, I thought he was singing, he just started talking.
It gets to the buche.
Alright, let's actually get down to stuff. Don't have anything to trade, and neither does he. But Wolf gave us a basic pistol and a knife. The knife functions both as weapon and as a utility. You can use it to break open boxes and little cases for supplies. I'm going down here to see if I could find some additional supplies, and I don't think there's anything down here.
I played this quite recently on stream because I was like goofy as hell, but I've never played unmodded Stalker, so are blue boxes actually useful in this?
Blue boxes?
Like little square blue boxes with like blue on top, white on the bottom. Incomplete if you knife them, you get supplies, but I don't know about unmodded.
If you're talking about the little boxes, then yes.
Okay, good.
These big boxes sometimes will have stuff in them. Like there.
Was that a bowl?
It was a can.
It looked like a bowl of oatmeal, like a perfect bowl of oatmeal.
Let's get down into some of the mechanics of the game. We picked up an energy drink early on. Energy drain depends more on your encumbrance than if you're running. Like, I'm dashing right here. In the bottom left, you could see that's my current state. And the little blue bar underneath is my stamina. It goes down very slowly right now because I have less than my max encumbrance. Don't go over there, that's the military and they hate you. You're given a grace period of 10 additional kilograms. After that point, you can't walk anymore, but in that grace period, when you're running, you just drain your stamina. I picked up different types of food. There was bread and there was the canned goods. There's also sausages you can pick up. Those are healing items, but also if you don't eat, there will be a little image coming up saying you're hungry, you need to eat those. We'll also be picking up bandages and med kits, and those are your primary heals. Each one has a different use for other status effects you might get, like bleeding. The bandages heal that.
That's cute, using bandages for healing. Not using 37 to heal yourself to full.
I collect a ridiculous amount of bandages, I might as well. And each one only weighs 0.1 of a kilogram. Everything you pick up will have weight, remember that.
Hello, it's me, the Stalker Mummy, how are you? Jesus!
Yeah, this is our first enemy. It's a type of mutant. It's a boar. A very big boar, very violent.
Oh my god.
That image on the right is, I am currently bleeding, so I'm slowly losing health. It's in green, so it's fine, and it heals over time. Bandages just make it more instant. The knife is ever so slightly overpowered. Most enemies will die in one hit.
Really?
Yo, hang on. What? Stone Blood this early in the game? What the fuck?
Yep.
Why have I never done this quest early in the game? That,
What does it do?
Stone Blood is a type of artifact. There's a bunch of different types. Stone Blood, I think the effect is health.
Health regen, specifically.
Yep. And here's another one.
It's just floating there.
Yeah.
It's a jellyfish. Most of the artifacts have a benefit and also a harm. So, like, Stone Blood, it will regenerate my health over time, but it also reduces armor effectiveness and what have you. And Jellyfish, it gives me better bulletproofing for when I get shot, but it also gives me radiation over time. I don't like using those. The ones that reduce my armor effectiveness, I'm not worried about so much, even though I'm much more likely to get shot and die than from any other reason. It's just sort of what I've gotten used to. Here's our first medkit and our second corpse.
On the artifacts thing, it's also really, really fucking hard to get radiation-reducing items. So things that are like, increase your armor at the cost of radiation.
Oh god.
Reconsider.
This game in general is reminding me a lot of Fallout, but the fact that it's hard to find radiation decreasing items early in the game is just giving me Fallout 4 flashbacks.
Thank you, Mark I.
Yeah, we'll talk about that a little bit. This right here, occasionally you'll come across stalkers who are injured. You can give them a med kit, and then his name changed from yellow to green. That means he's your friend now. Oh. And there can be benefits to that, especially like if you're in an area and some fights might go down. That means they'll be on your side.
What's this might bullshit?
In the trade screen, you can see how many rubles each person has. Artifacts are very good for selling, for getting a lot of money, but not every stalker will have enough. That jellyfish costs 650, he only had 449.
Ugh.
Here's our next mutant, blind dogs. They're gross looking.
Are they actually blind?
I think so, but they can find you easily anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Aesthetically, yes. Functionally, no, because they have, like, the ears of a damn bat.
Right, ears and sniffers and stuff, probably.
Ah, good.
That was a good box. Gave us a silent pistol, too, along with some other supplies.
Ooh.
Yeah, because your starting gun is a Makarov, which is hot garbage. But the silenced Makarov at least is silent and won't spook people as much.
It's at least silent garbage.
Yeah. Yeah, if you look off in the distance, you can see a sort of bubbling. That's an anomaly. There's a bunch of different types of anomalies, all of them bad. I like the way this game adapted the stuff from Roadside Picnic and Stalker, because in that, it was aliens, came down, left a bunch of shit behind, and then the Earth got fucked. In this, they've adapted it more to sort of what we expected would happen after Chernobyl exploded.
Mm-hmm.
But there will be more to the story as we go on. Shadow of Chernobyl is pretty much entirely about figuring out why their Chernobyl zone has turned into what it is now. And regarding radiation, it's essentially the same as bleeding. The more irradiated you are, the more your health plummets. Only, unlike bleeding, it doesn't heal over time. You need either those anti-rad drugs or an artifact specifically for it. And where bleeding comes from getting into fights, radiation tends to come from the environment.
And Jacob, you mentioned an allegory between like Fallout 3, and that was like the big comparison back when this was first released. People would compare Stalker and the new Fallouts in terms of gameplay and story.
Oh yeah, it looks really similar. This game just looks a lot more complicated.
A little more complicated. Fallout is more like a first-person RPG. This one, it's more of an immersive FPS, more like along the lines of Deus Ex.
Oh, because it seems very RPG-ish right now, with all these items and junk.
It is, but like, there's no stats that you upgrade. You're mostly just getting better weapons and armor.
Oh, I get you. Okay.
Like the murder hobo you are.
Your skills are what gonna carry you more.
Oh, you haven't equipped the sense Makarov, have you?
Nah, well, they know I'm here anyway. So we look up in the top left, we have our map. Until you've actually seen an enemy and they've seen you, they don't turn up on the map. When they do, there'll be a red dot. It will tell you if there are neutral enemies or allies nearby. They'll show up as yellow and green.
Ooh.
However, at the bottom of the map, there is a number that does tell you how many bodies are in the area, how many living people. And also, there are white dots. Those are corpses. So, like, if there was an enemy shooting at you and then a dot shows up, it means he's dead.
I like this little tiny shotgun. Shut up, you're dead!
Kumbaya, my lord. Kumbaya.
Let's put this to use.
God, it's so fat.
That's not useful otherwise.
An amusing thing, I did not know about the number radar thing until quite recently.
Yeah.
Is stealth at all useful in this game? Like, do you get kind of rewarded for being more stealthy?
Up to a point. If an enemy doesn't see you, you can sneak around relatively easily. Once you've fired from anywhere at anything, pretty much everyone knows where you are.
No.
I personally find stealth to be mandatory because, man, these guys have laser accuracy.
Oh yes, this game is infamously difficult. It has a very good enemy AI, sort of obnoxiously intelligent sometimes. So good that they had to actually pull it back in development because you could not win.
Wow, like literally?
In fact, the semi-sequel, Clear Sky, that is a huge problem with that one, because the enemies have laser accuracy with grenades.
It's so weird seeing you equipped with the stone blood and not having your health just instantly vaporized. So man, that shotgun's really good early on, huh?
Early on, yeah, but only when you're up close.
Ah, yeah, so it suffers from the typical first-person shooter problem of after 10 feet, your shotgun is popcorn.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Now, these big crates don't always have something in them, but I like to break them all just in case.
This guy really loves to stroke that knife.
He does that constantly.
It's bugging me. I don't know why.
There's a lot of good idle animations in this game. My favorite one is with rifles. You'll just play with the rifle a little bit.
I found our first stash. Thing is, there's nothing in there. A big part of Stalker is looting bodies, and occasionally the body will give you a location of a stash. That stash is technically always there, but until you've actually been told about it, there won't be anything in it.
That's silly.
Yeah.
It's Schrodinger's stash.
I was gonna say, like, oh, here's a stash. There's nothing in it. Well, it's not a very good stash then, isn't it? Hey, boy, want to see my stash? What's it of? Yeah.
You were gonna say ass.
My stash of ass.
I thought you were saying, like you couldn't think of anything.
My stash of ass. That'd be the worst.
It's a stash of stashes.
You just open it up and there's this butt staring right back at you.
Never thank you enough.
With this one eye.
There's a lot of reading in this one.
I didn't keep it down there, buddy. I'm not that nimble.
Ugh.
For most of these dialogue boxes, I'm not going to linger on them too much. If you really want to read them, just pause the video. I'll linger on them long enough that you can do that, but most of the dialogue you don't need to worry about too much. You can get the gist pretty quickly. You just have a side job.
Stoneflower, what is that?
Not every NPC will give you side missions. It's mostly the merchants. Story-specific people might sometimes. The very first thing we did was just to clear out a boar lair. And those are pretty easy, just go to a location. Most of these missions, it's go to a location and kill something or everything. Another mission that we got is to find specific artifacts, and you are not given a location for those. You just have to come across them as you go along. Aside from the main story missions, the side missions are like Radiant quests. They will recover over time. There's no way you can completely do every single side quest. I will at least show off each type of mission, but I'm not going to do every single one.
What are these poofs?
That's a type of anomaly.
Painful.
Oh.
One of your pieces of equipment, it's an infinite supply of bolts, which you just use to throw into an anomaly to figure out where exactly it is. In my experience, you could practically put your face in the anomaly before it activates. There's a beeping that plays anytime you get near it, and sometimes the screen goes white, but for most of them, you're given a pretty wide margin of error.
Bullshit, because let me tell you about how I can never escape these fucking anomalies.
Oh yeah, once you're caught in it, you can't get anywhere, but you can get pretty close. This little tunnel's gonna lead us to another type of enemy. It's sort of like a dog, but it's a bit worse than a dog. It's a pseudo-dog. Excuse me, was.
Oh, is that... Okay, for a second it looked like a flea or something. Oh, God, it's like a werewolf.
Got a man face. Why are we out here? I don't remember anything out here.
It's a mission. Only Nimble gives you this mission.
Oh, I never talked to that jackass, so...
Wow.
It's a good idea to do it, though. Oh, this is kind of cool. I've weakened him enough that he's limping. But the Nimble mission, we just need to go out here and find a suit that's out here. It's over in the corner. By doing that, Nimble gives you a Stoneflower, which Sidorovich was looking for, so, like, that's an easy request taken care of.
Or you could just take the armor and fucking peace out.
It's really not much better than what I'm wearing right now, though. It just has better bulletproofing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's technically the bandit suit, which is ever so slightly better than a leather jacket.
Now, there is a location back there, but we can't access it from here. This is actually a one-way exit for later in the game.
Just leave the dog alone, man. He ain't gonna fuck with you, jeez. Nah.
I'll let you suffer for a little longer.
Oh, it gave me a tail. You might have seen in the trade screens, for most of the NPCs you come across, they will not trade armor and guns, mostly just trade healing items or what have you. Most of the merchants will buy stuff like that, but the drops that you get from the mutants, only specific people are looking for those. Get out of here, dog. There will be some missions where the merchants want you to go out and specifically find them, but only a few people will trade for them. And I'm trying to get dogtails because it's Scratch.
Man, that's the hyper shit accuracy from the shotgun that I'm used to. At one point, I just saw all of the pellets hit to the left of the dog, and I'm just like, yep.
It's a video game shotgun.
That's a stalker shotgun. This thing is remarkably garbage.
A stock gun?
A Stalkin.
Christopher Stalken? Let's just go on this portmanteau rampage. That's the kind of rampages I like.
Coming up here to get a little lay of the land. That train bridge is sort of the centerpiece of the Cordon. Oh, hello.
Oh, hi. Where the fuck did you come from, fish whore?
Where the fuck did he go? Ah.
This is what I'm talking about. I'm very close to the anomalies. At the very least, you can sort of reach into inventories if someone's stuck in an anomaly.
Are you gonna do the thing?
Not right now.
Ah.
There's a military outpost over there. And they don't want me to go through. But I don't want to go through yet right now anyway.
Back to Frisky. Oh, never mind. Nimble was his name.
Nimble was his name, oh.
But I was still wrong, so.
No, this is a different dude. He's just a dude who helped us clear out the bandit camp.
Right. Petruna.
Petunia.
The dude was like Petroska Barbarian.
I don't know, I like Petunia better.
Petunia Barbarian. Here's Nimble. He made his way back to camp.
You're gonna be okay, dude. Come on.
Bitch, I was sleeping.
Most people, when you ask them, can you tell me something interesting, they won't have anything interesting to say.
Well, that's interesting.
Here's something interesting. You're in the zone. It's shit here. Good night.
AutoZone. Oh. Wolf is very casual. That's awesome, man.
I'll be heading out towards the farm anyway, might as well.
God, they give you a lot of stone bloods early on. What? I've been playing this game all wrong. Holy shit.
I do appreciate when the dialogue options, or answers rather, in games are a bit more casual other than, yes, no, let me think about it.
Could you repeat that?
Huh? Actually, that would be pretty casual.
Huh?
Huh?
H-E-G-H.
Just a picture of Josh Peck.
Listen, Marked One. I've done some thinking, and here's what I'd like to offer. Generally speaking, what you really need is to find s.t.a.l.k.e.r, right?
All Russians and Ukrainians speak with such like a drawl
There's
in
a
media.
stalker that goes by this name. And they say he's found a path to the northern
Because
reaches
vodka,
of the
vodka,
zone,
goo goo goo, I
which
guess.
is the virgin area.
Flavor of the language, quite
Gold
frankly.
mines, artifacts. Yeah. Anyway, I can help you find him. However, as you can imagine, it won't be a free ride. You'll have to work it off. But in the long run, we'll both benefit. You're going to waste that s.t.a.l.k.e.r fella and find out what happened to you, and I'll find...
Basically, kill this man and I want to get paid, eh?
Highwaying, earlier on you mentioned Stalker Complete.
Yes.
All right, listen.
That is a mod that fixes up a number of things, sort of changes the HUD, clears up some bugs, and merchants like Zadorovich here, probably the most broken thing about it, they sell pretty much everything in the game, all the armors, all the weapons, just as long as you can get the money for it. And that's the only reason I ever beat the game first time is because I had a Gauss rifle.
What?
Now, I'm gonna have to do it the hard way for this LP, but I might show off Stalker Complete, like, in a separate video just for fun. The only mods that I'm using for this just clear up bugs and missions getting glitched so you can't complete them, things like that. Nothing that changes the core of the game.
I think you could show off complete with just like a couple screenshots, because nothing, aside from visual fidelity, nothing really changes. Quite frankly, the fact that stores were changed was news to me. Because I know early on, Zadorovich definitely had more gear than what he has like right now, but he'll have like an MP5 or like a higher tier of armor. Kind of those things. I don't think I ever saw him sell something like a Lee Enfield or a SIG at this point in the game.
Yeah, I might be thinking of a later merchant.
You might be thinking of the area 2 levels from
You'll
now.
end up at the Agroprom Research Institute after a few kilometers. And be
I
careful,
gotta
the
say,
radiation level
I
is way
don't
too high at
like
Garden.
the interface when you're talking to somebody. I don't like how it covers the face of the person you're talking to. Makes it feel less personal.
Yeah, I kind of agree, actually.
Oh, well, once I finish the current special mission, Sidorovich will let me do other ones. I only ever did this first special mission, and then I forgot to check for others. This one seems to be the only one that's story relevant. He does have other smaller side quests, and these are roughly the same as the ones you'll get from all the other merchants and what have you. Go out and find an artifact, go out and kill this dude, go out and rip the tail off of this monster, and at least one of them I can finish while I'm standing right in front of him. Your rewards for side quests are usually health recovery items, ammo. If it's a hard one, you might get an artifact. If it's a story mission, you might get an armor upgrade. I don't think you usually get weapons, though a reward for one of the missions I just took is a grenade for the grenade launcher attachment to go onto AKs. I found a jellyfish artifact.
Get vodka for a jellyfish, only in Stalker.
Ancient Russian jellyfish.
Vodka is another type of healing item.
Of course it is.
Bizarrely, it heals radiation.
Of course it does.
While also making you drunk, of course. See, there's an early trick. Find a jellyfish early, finish that request from Nimble to get the stone flower, go back to Sidorovich, give him the jellyfish, and then you get the mission for the stone flower, turn that in. Easy early money.
Wait, are these literal jellyfish, or are they just called that?
They're just called that.
Okay, because I was just... Ukraine, I believe, is landlocked. Not many jellyfish.
I mean, if you go north enough, you'll find water there, but...
Rain.
You're actually good.
South enough. Well, there is some water up north. Down to the south looks like the Mediterranean Sea or something. Oh, the Black Sea.
Yeah, see, this is like what a typical loadout I always see of Sidorovich early on. He'll have the mercenary outfit, he'll have an MP5. I'm kind of surprised he has a stalker suit, but not really anything game-breaking. Let's just sell these 6 Makarovs.
How are you carrying all of these pistols?
This is how you get money early on in the game. Everyone you kill, take all their guns, and then go straight back to Sidorovich and drop them off.
You are not nimble, you are marked one.
I was using nimble as an adjective. Gee, Sidorovich, come on.
Listen, you can't get past me and my boob scratching. I scratch my boob, you feel... I don't have...
I scratch my boob, you feel.
No.
I scratch my boob, I identify all, including you. And you are not nimble.